Obviously, the Celtic fans going through to Tynecastle this weekend will be hoping there's going to be a title party. If you win the game, the title's yours. Is it going to be difficult to not have your players have their eyes on the prize rather than the game itself?
No, I don't think so. I think, the lads now, this group of players have sort of experienced this kind of build-up to a big game, over the last sort of 20-odd months. And, obviously we were in this position last year and, we've played a couple of cup finals and, a couple of cup semi-finals. So they know that in the big games there's always a bit of excitement and hype around them, and they know that there's outcomes that can be pretty special at the end of it. But they've been pretty good at just being focused on playing our football, and they're human beings. They know what's at stake and they know what the potential of a positive result is. So they'll take that into the game, but within that context, they'll still. I think their focus will be clear, and we've got to play our football. It's a difficult place to play. Their hearts have got plenty to play for. So the beauty of it is, if we do it, we're going to have to earn it, and that's the only way you want to do it.
Just in terms of your team news, Ange, obviously Alistair limped off last weekend. What is the latest with regards to his fitness and when you hope he might be back?
Yeah, Ali, obviously, like I said, he got a significant knock. We'll see at the moment. There's still a chance he'll be available before the end of the season, but it'll be sort of a week by week thing, and we'll see how he goes. Obviously, Cameron will be out till start of next season, and James Forrest probably a week away, and the only other one, the new one, is. Stephen Welsh picked up a knock at training, so he's not available for this weekend, but everyone else is good to go.
Hi, Ange. Yes, Chris up in Aberdeen here. You're on course to generate a higher points total than last season. How much growth does that reflect you and the team year on year? Yeah,
look, I think, sometimes I guess points tally can be a little bit misleading, but, I think for us that's the key thing out of where we are now to where we were, even 12 months ago. Obviously, we had a great year last year and winning the double and winning and becoming champions, which was important to us. But I really feel that this year, we're a stronger team than we were 12 months ago. And that's always got to be our measure. I think if you stand still at any time, whether it's this league or any league around the world, that there's always potential somebody could overtake you if you sort of repeat the performance of last year. But I think the team has grown this year. I think we've got a stronger squad than last year. I think our performances have been a lot more consistent and compelling for the most part. And I think that's reflected in as you said, in the points tally and the position we're in. But, I think that's really important. That's still the most important measure for me. I mean, obviously you want to win things, but if you're winning things and improving, it doesn't guarantee you success the following year, but it gives you, a great chance, and we've certainly done that this year.
Taro mentioned one of your defenders, but Cameron Carter-Vickers out for the season. Is there a chance that he'll make it back for pre-season for the beginning of next season, or could he miss some of that as well?
Yeah, no, look, he's already had the surgery, and the reports that it went really well, and he should be right for the start of the season next year to begin the season, which is great news for us. As I said last week, it's something he's carried for quite a significant part of this year, but he was really keen to play, particularly up until last weekend, knowing sort of the consequences and what that game meant for our season. But it's fair to say he hasn't been able to train at the levels he wants to and sometimes perform, but he's never used it as a clutch or an excuse, and it was outstanding for us this year. And it's great for him now that he can sort of get a scene to and know that starting next season he'll be ready to go.
Hi, Ange. Obviously, as you say, with Cameron out and you say Stephen Welsh has picked up an injury, is the next few weeks maybe a good opportunity for Yuki Kobayashi to get a valuable run in the team?
Yeah, Yuki's ready to go. He's done well for us ever since every time we've called upon him, and we brought him in January, obviously, and we wanted to sort of use this sort of second half of the year to bed him in terms of our football, our training, just to let him adjust, along with the other signings. Obviously, Alistair, got more game time than sort of Yukio and Tomoki have, but that was because, we obviously, Tony Ralston was down injured as well. So, Yuki's ready to go and he's ready to step up and play a significant role. And it'll be good for him, I think. Like I said, he's done well for us so far, and this gives him a chance to sort of get a little bit of an extended run in the team.
I know you said that you'd maybe have preferred to have had a home game earlier in the split, just with the way things have gone. But in terms of away venues for a game like this, is Tynecastle maybe a good one? It's one that gets quite a lot of praise from opposition managers, just with the atmosphere that's generated there.
Yeah, no, it's a great atmosphere, and it's a great venue, and it's always a good game. It's always. There's always a little bit of it feels like it's a big game, and I think from our perspective it's a good place, because as I said, for us to get the outcome we want, we're going to have to earn it. Hearts have still got plenty to play for this year. They've got a new manager, Stephen Naismith, who's come in, and I don't know him well, but everyone I've spoken to says that rates him really highly, and I like the way he's kind of gone about his business so far, in terms of the way he speaks about what he wants to achieve. So it's going to be a good game, and it's like I said, if we want to end up with the outcome that we want, we're going to have to earn it, and that's the way it should be.
Hi Ange, are you expecting it to be quite a tense game, with both clubs obviously having something to play for on Sunday?
Yeah, to a certain extent. You just don't know with these games. It could be tense. It could be it could be a little bit more open, because both teams, as you said, are looking for a result. So we just got to be ready for whatever sort of game it is. That we know the most important thing for us is just to keep our heads clear and be focused on playing our football and making sure that from our perspective, we don't get too sort of distracted by other things happening either prior or during the game. It's just got to be real clear-headedness that we've got to play our football. That gives us our best chance of success. And
there's still things to play for at the top and the bottom of the league. Do you feel like you're a fan of the split and how that's worked out this season, meaning there's an edge going into the final 5 games?
Yeah, look, I don't know if I'm a fan, but it is what it is. I mean, I've during my career I've experienced just about everything in terms of league setups. You just take on what's in front of you, and it is what it is now. And like I said, some big games for clubs at both ends of the table, and I think it'll be some exciting football hopefully in the last sort of month of the season.
Hi Ange.
Hey,
Ange, when the league title is wrapped up, whether it's this week or next week, will it give you a chance to maybe blood some of the younger players? Because we've seen Rocco come in this year and do really well.
Yeah, look, I think my approach is always that, every game is an opportunity for us to, perform and keep improving. And, I'm not a fan of just sort of giving games to players just for, for some sort of, ceremonial thing. Everything's got to be earned. And, Rocco and, we've had Rocco, Benny Summers, Bosun, Lowell training with us and had some game time because they've earned it, not because, I feel like I need to sort of give them a reward for, whatever they get, they're going to earn. And, they're training with us, the 3 young boys, and, it's not just them. There's others. It's very competitive, and that's what's got us to where we are right now. And if I give somebody a game, I better have some pretty compelling reasons to do it, because there'll be somebody who's not playing who'll want to know why, And I've been really consistent in saying that, every team I select is a team that I think will win us the game of football and perform to the best possible level, with the knowledge that, we can put some decent players on. So that won't change, irrespective of whether we've sealed the title or not. Every game the approach will be the same. That I'll put a team out there that I think will give us the best chance of success.
Yeah, and with the other squad players, Ange, that haven't featured as much, how happy are you? Because their attitude seems to have been brilliant when they have been called upon through injuries or when they've come off the bench.
Yeah, look, it's been an important part of our season. We sit here right now because of the consistency of the group, and when you think about earlier in the year and, us playing Champions League football and what it takes out of, players physically, emotionally, and through that time our league form was outstanding, because I was able to rotate the team and put guys in, and they embraced that challenge, and they've understood that, for us to achieve all we want to achieve this year, it's going to take collective effort, and they accept that, and they know that the key thing is that when their opportunity comes, and it will come, that they perform at a level that gives them another opportunity to play again. And I mean, you saw that last week. I mean, Tony Rolston hasn't played for quite a while, and he's have to step in probably one of the biggest games of the year, and he did such a great job for us, and we have confidence in that, and I have confidence in that because I see them train every day, and that's where more than anything you get an indicator of where they're at, whether that's physically or whether that's mentally or emotionally. And credit to the lads. Training is a hell of a barometer, and these guys, they train like champions every day.
Ange, first, congratulations on reaching the cup final and setting up the potential treble. When you arrived here and had such a successful first season, you told people that you expected the team to be even better in the second season. The question I think a lot of people want to know is, how do you top a treble, at least domestically? We know Europe is a big deal, obviously, and people will be watching how we do next season. But do you still think there's an upward trajectory for this team in terms of its domestic performances, and how would you measure that against the form that this side has shown?
Yeah, look, I do think so. I think that's my role. I think if I didn't believe could be constant improvement, then I wouldn't be doing, I wouldn't be sort of embracing the responsibility I have. And I do think, and so there's two ways you can measure it, like you said, with just results and say, well, you've won a treble, we've gone, which we haven't done yet, so we still got to do that. But even if we did, then you'd kind of look at it and say, okay, how do you top that? Well, if it's just on results, then that's where you fall into the trap of thinking that maybe you can't. But if you do it on performances, then we can play better next year. There's been areas where we've made enormous improvements this year, but I still think we can improve in next year. In attacking side, defensive side of the game, a lot of our players are still, not in the infancy of their careers, but still at the beginnings of their careers, where they need to improve. Our job is to get them to improve. So there's another challenge there. We can improve performances. So, the measures we have and the measures I have are not just what the league table tells you or the trophies you get. It goes beyond that. But ultimately, the main driver is still to end the season winning the competitions you've been in, and because that's what matters. But within that context, we can improve. Absolutely, we can improve. And as you said, you've always got Europe as well, where you can make strides in. And I said this year that the key for us is if we want to improve, particularly at Champions League level, the first thing you have to do is qualify for it every year. And this will be our second year, and I think that's got to be our objective every time we start a season.
Obviously, Ange, the Youth Cup final was the other night, and you and the chairman attended that one. What struck me most about the performance was that the team approach is in many ways very similar to that of the first team in terms of emphasising attacking football and playing a certain way. Is it fair to say that there is now a guiding philosophy for the whole club? And do you see this paying dividends in the next year or 2 years in terms of bringing more young players into the team?
Yeah, look, I'd like to think so. And, I don't think that's, sort of as a consequence of me. I think this football club historically has always had those values within the kind of football they want their teams to play. I think it's inherent in this football club that they expect their teams to be exciting to watch. They expect their teams to entertain. They expect their teams to score goals. Sometimes you can sort of get, away from that because, for one reason or another, usually external factors diminishes that side of it. But, what I hope I've done over the last sort of couple of years is, and your kind of flagship is your first team, is that to show that playing that kind of football can bring success. I believe having that approach can bring success at all levels in terms of developing players, in terms of developing a culture within a football club. And look, I was delighted to watch the boys the other night. It was a cracking game, and for both teams, I thought it was a really good exhibition of attacking football. There'd be there'd be plenty who would bemoan the fact that there wasn't a lot of outstanding defensive displays. But I didn't mind it, mate. I thought, you know what, if every football game finished 6-4, I don't think there'd be too many complaints from people. And it was great to see Stuart McLaren, who's come in sort of in the last year, has done a tremendous job with the boys. And there's a really strong alignment between him and Darren and Steve at the next level with, a lot of the boys, go up to the B team and head back down the same way they do with us. And I think it is important. I think if you look at, the most successful football clubs around the world that have great development programs, there is an alignment there. But it has to be an alignment that everyone believes in, and more importantly, that the club believes in. It can't be about, a person coming in and saying this is the way we've got to play. It's got to be a natural extension of what the club stands for. And for as long as I've known this football club, and you guys have known it longer than me, it's always been synonymous with playing exciting football, and long may it continue, mate.